Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Varia Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with the specific area of accounting and financial management for bankers. I hope I'm audible, everyone, and clearly visible. Everybody, please confirm if I'm audible as well as clearly visible. Chaliye, let's talk about this, everyone. When we talk about the specific area of cash flow statement and fund flow statement, what is it about? See, cash flow is basically a specific statement which records the movement of rupees, inflow and outflow of funds. When we talk about the specific area of fund flow, it's a little broader concept, but in this case we are talking about the movement of funds altogether. So there it under cash flow we are strictly restricted towards the area of only the movement of cash. When we talk about the funds overall, that means the money that we'll be receiving even in future is going to be covered in this case. So in this case, we are going to talk about both of these. If you are there in the particular session, please share the session, like the session, and subscribe to the channel right away, everyone. Chaliye, now let's continue further. Everyone, introduction of cash flow and fund flow statement. When we talk about introduction of cash flow and fund flow, we talk about the financial health of an organization. The financial health here means, see, liquidity is one of the basic attributes which is used to measure the organization's health. When we talk about an organization's health, now it is super important to see whether the organization is making good money or not. So company's financial health or operational efficiency is definitely checked through your cash flow and fund flow statement. This presentation will delve into the intricacies of the preparing cash flow statement, explore the benefits. See, obviously there are certain benefits of understanding the cash flow now. That is why people are looking forward to it. So when we talk about the cash flow statement, it is restricted totally towards the movement of cash. When we talk about fund flow, it has a broader concept, but in terms of the requirements by SEBI, it is exclusively limited to cash flow statement. So this is one of the basic of cash flow statement, everyone. Number one, when we talk about preparing of a cash flow statement, it has got three basic activities. When we talk about operating activities, these are those activities which an organization does and earns money from. For example, if my basic business is to sell goods, right? So if I sell goods and I earn money, so this is my basic operations. If I am someone who is involved in providing services, so providing services is something which you and I can say is to be covered in this area. Right? So this is what we talk about in terms of the cash flow statement. The basic operating activities, the activities which you do to run your business, is to be defined as operating activities. The activities which we do in terms of making investment in our business is to be termed as investing activities. For example, I decided कि अच्छा चलिए let's I've got a lot of money, so what I did was I got another investment to be made in certain shares. So when I try to put that money into certain shares, which is not my business, that is investing activities. If I bought a new machinery for my organization, that is also to be covered under investing activities. If I said that I'm going to sell one of the lands that we possess, that is also an investing activities. So operating is basically your day-to-day business activities. Investing is something which records your long-term assets which you sell. And financing activity, everyone, I am earning money, I am investing. Where did the initial investment came from? Where did the initial money came from which I started my own business? That is your financing activity. So financing activities are those activities through which we raise the finances of the organization. It includes the dividend, changes in equity, fluctuations. As you can see, the money that we borrow or the money that I invested in the business itself, those are called financing activities. Then we talk about operating is when we run our businesses. So this is basically your operating income. But remember, your income should be totally cash based. Nothing else to be there. So that means if you will be asking what is cash flow statement, you will say it takes only cash profit in consideration, not the entire profit. That means non-cash expenses and non-cash incomes which are there in the organization should be ignored altogether. Then we talk about investing activities. Investing activities are those activities where we talked about the purchase and sale. So this is where you talk about the long-term assets. And then when you completely add these three, you get your final calculation. So with these three categories, you come to know about the total funds the organization earned during this year. This is the format of the cash flow statement, everyone. I hope this is visible right now. Look at this, everyone. First of all, your basic earnings are there. Then you have to adjust the money for non-cash transactions. For example, depreciation is non-cash. See, and then these are working capital adjustments. In the working capital, whatever money that you have made during the year or whatever money you have lost during the year has to be considered. Under working capital, what do we do? Under working capital, we share this specific thing in terms of our in your specific area of maintaining your business. How do we maintain our business? How do we work upon that specific business wala area? Then the things that we need in our business is to be covered in this area altogether, right? So that is what we define under cash flow statement, everyone. So see, capital, first of all, operating activities are those activities which we do in terms of working upon our business, hai na? So when we are talking about our business, this is what we talk about, isn't it? So when we are talking about this specific area altogether, this was exclusively for your business. Once you got your total profit, see, increase in inventory. If you purchase more inventory, of course, you would have made a payment. Hai na? You would have made a payment for this. That is to be covered here. Then you find your investing activities. What do you mean by investing activities? Operating activities are your day-to-day activities. Investing activities are those activities in which you talk about the specific area of having your long-term investments. Long-term investments, see, in this case, they have given money to someone. Hai na? They would have, they have purchased an equipment, so there is a negative figure. Always remember, negative means you have lost money. That is cash outflow. And positive means you have money in your pocket. That is, you are receiving funds. When there's a decrease in accounts receivable, that means earlier the person was supposed to pay more, now he's supposed to pay less. This means this is a situation where you have recovered your funds, isn't it? Then next comes is your cash flow from financing activities. Financing activities means what I do is I take money from others to run my business. So if I take money from others to run my business, see, this is where you try to run your business through arranging the funds from someone else. This is notes payable. We got 10,000 rupees from someone in order to run our business further. So the total amount, since see, I received good amount of money from here, I received good amount of money, but this is where you okay, your net cash from operations, this is your total money you have made during the year from your business. And of course it is in a positive sense that during the year we have got 20 lakh 12,000 as cash from our business. Then 5 lakh of cash was given for purchasing of equipment, and at the same time you received 10k more. So what you need to do is 20 lakh minus 5 lakh plus 10,000. This will give you 15 lakh 22,000 is the total earnings that you have made purely in terms of cash during the year. So what would you do? You will say A was the opening balance of cash in our books. Then we added the cash flows during the year, whatever you have made during the year, and then that should be equal to closing, isn't it? If I said I have 100 rupees in my pocket, then I got 10 rupees more, then whatever is left would be noted to us. है ना? Done, everyone? Chaliye then, let's move on to the next point. This is the format of cash flow statement. What are the benefits? See, the benefit is basically you can evaluate the financial structure. This is one part which can never be denied. It helps in understanding the financial structure. It helps in assessing the adaptability, how much money you have got and how do you adapt yourself in the future area altogether. This is what will help you to understand the entire scenario. Then is enable comparative analysis. Comparative analysis means when you are comparing your previous year with current year. This thing is available exclusively in cash flow statement as you compare two different years. Done, everyone? So this is how we talk about this and predict future performance. When we talk about cash flow statement, it also helps in understanding your future. If you come to know about how you are spending today, you can anticipate your future based upon your current situations, isn't it? That is how we define the specific area of cash flow statement. Okay, everyone, let's begin with the MCQ wala part as well. Everyone, go ahead and start answering based upon whatever you have learned. This particular type of questions can be asked, though from cash flow statement as well as fund flow, we expect that more questions are going to be from the side of the theoretical side, but I've also given some questions on case study. Along with this, we'll also be dealing with a few questions that is reasoning and assertion based. So it's going to be an interesting class covering various types of format in terms of MCQs. So please be there till the very end. Let's begin with it, everyone. Which of the following activities would be categorized as an operating activity? Operating activity means the activity which we do in order to run our business only, right? That is purchase of equipment, payment of dividend, then comes sale of goods to customers or issuance of shares. Everyone, what's going to be the answer? See, payment, purchase of equipment. If I buy an equipment, it's a long term thing. Payment of dividend, it is for financing. The people who have financed my business deserves money, because if I won't reward them, they will not continue with my business at all. That is one particular truth, everyone. Sale of goods to customers, then yeah, we can say that the sale of goods to customers would be covered here, because in this case, why? Sale of goods to customers means I'm selling goods to my general people, regular people, customers are regular people. Issuance of share is again something which is based upon financing, so I won't go with this at all. So in this case, the correct answer is sale of goods to customers. This is the correct answer, everyone, right? Operating activities relate to the primary revenue producing activities of the business, like selling goods or services. Operating activities are those activities which a business does in order to run their business, everyone. है ना? The money they are paying, the money they are receiving just because they are running a business is called operating activities. Done, everyone? Chaliye, then let's move on to the next question. Here comes the next question. Reasoning and assertion based question. Everybody please share the session, like the session and subscribe to the channel right away if you haven't done it yet. Chaliye, everyone, let's continue further. cash flow from cash inflows, matlab you're receiving money from the sale of goods and services, are classified as operating activities. Operating activities relate to the principal revenue generating business or activities of a business. Revenue generating means the activities which you do in a business in order to earn the money, right? When we define the specific area of receiving money, in this case, when we talk about operating, this is because you are receiving money as you are operating your business. When you operate the business and you earn money, that is to be covered here. So when we talk about the cash flow statement, you can say that in this case, both A and R are true. R is the correct explanation. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Or A is true and R is false, or A is false but R is true. When we talk about this area, the correct answer is going to be cash inflow from the sale of goods and services are classified under operating activities. It is operating activities are your day-to-day activities, and then we talk about operating activities relate to principal revenue generating activities. Yes, it relates exclusively to the work that you do on your daily basis. So the question is absolutely correct. The assertion as well as reasoning, none of them is wrong. Done. Here comes a case study, everyone. In this case, they say that XYZ Limited has generated a net positive cash inflow from operating activities of rupees 10 lakh during the financial year. The company decided to invest a significant portion of this acquiring new machinery worth rupees 4 lakh, selling an old piece of machinery for 1 lakh 50. Achha, there are multiple things I have covered up. They said that in operating, investing, and then they said in addition, the company has made a loan of 1 lakh to one of the partners and has received 50,000 from selling a part of their equity holdings. Now think about the total inflows and outflows that you are having and then calculate this specific answer. Try it out, everyone. See, when we talk about it, they are not talking about the various, I would say they are not talking about the types of income. You just have to follow what is coming into your books and what is going out. So they are talking about net cash outflow, the money you are losing. So in terms of operating, so there is no outflow, there is cash inflow. Hai na? So in this case, what are you going to do? So this is your inflow of funds. Acha, they have asked about exclusively the investing activities. Na? So this is operating. This 10 lakh is exclusively operating. So this is not to be considered. This is the extra information they have given you so that you get confused. The company decided to invest a significant portion of acquiring a new machinery. Acquiring matlab they are getting a new machinery. That means this has to be minus 4 lakh. Since you have got a new machinery and it has to be included in this acquiring and selling an old piece of machinery. You sold an old piece, that means you have received 1 lakh 50. Hai, because when you sell something, you receive funds. In addition, the company has made a loan of 1 lakh to one of its business partners. You are giving loan to someone. That means you have excessive funds and then you are making a loan, that is your long-term asset. So in this case, you lose money because you are making a payment to someone. Na? And the last one is they have received 50,000 from selling a part of its equity holdings. So you have received money in terms of your investments so that you can make some money. So this is 50 lakh is from the equity selling. This is plus 50. Right? So in this case, what is going to be the answer, everyone? Just look at the specific area altogether. Na? You have got 1 lakh 50 plus 50. This is 2 lakh positive. And 4 plus 1, 5. 5 lakh negative. In this case, it's gonna be the area of 1 lakh 50 and 50. 2 lakh. No, in this case, the correct answer should be what? This is your 2 lakh is positive and this 5 lakh is negative. Hai na? So in this case, the correct answer is D. है ना? This is net cash outflow. That means you are losing money in your business. That is to be covered here. Done, everyone? So this is the answer. The answer is D. Just look at the question very carefully again, everyone. Please make sure you're understanding the points of it. It says that you are receiving funds exclusively for your business. Everybody got the idea? What comes in and what goes out? Chaliye then. Let's move on to the next point. Everybody please share the session, like the session and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. And if the session is helpful, please share the session and go ahead and like it as well right away. Chaliye. Everybody got the answer? And please write in the live chat as well if possible. Would love to see your activity there. Okay, the answer is 3 lakh rupees, right? We have got 4 lakh plus 1 lakh positive and we have got 1 lakh 50 and 50 negative. So technically we have got an outflow of 3 lakh rupees. Everybody, next question. This is again a little lengthier question, but this is a case study format. So look at this specific question as well. ABC Limited has been operating in the electronics sector for several years. During the current year, the company acquired a piece of land. They have acquired a piece of land and sold the building to for rupees 6 lakh. Acha, you received 10 lakh and you paid for 10 lakh and then you received for 6 lakh. The company also purchased 3 lakh worth of shirts in a joint venture. They have also got particular shirts for 3 lakh rupees. Later, it received 1 lakh from the sale of government bonds it had previously held. So, they have also received 1 lakh rupees by selling bonds. You know, you had those bonds, and they are saying that which of the following is the correct classification of cash flows, everyone? Cash outflow or for the purchase of land and sale of building will be classified as financing activities. Pay attention, everyone. You are selling a land and you are also you are purchasing a land and you are selling a building. In this case, both of these are long term assets, so they are not a part of financing activities because financing is from where you have got your funds. This is not about the application of funds. Financing is the place where you generated funds for your business for a long term basis. So this is definitely wrong. Cash outflow for the purchase of shares in joint venture will be classified as financing. No. When you put money into your joint venture, you are getting funds, isn't it? You are generating good funds enough that you are able to work in a better way. Cash inflow from the sale of bonds will be classified as investing activities. This one is true. When you are getting funds because you are selling the investments to someone, you are selling the government bonds, it will be classified as investing activities. This one is correct. So first two are definitely wrong because you are selling the government bonds. That means you had good money, but since you couldn't use it, so it was treated there. Both the purchase and sale of assets are classified as operating activities. Nahi. Assets is a part of exclusively your investing activities. Assets are never a part of financing activities, or you can say they are never a part of your they are never a part of your operating activities. Operating means something which you do on a daily basis. This is not something that you do on a daily basis, don't you think? Done. Let's move on. So this is the point, everyone. Purchase of land and sale of building are classified as investing. Purchase of shares or in a joint venture is also classified as investing activities. This is also true. The sale of government bonds also offers investing activity. If you are putting money into government resources, this is also a part of your investing activities that you are trying to do in your business. है ना? Next question, everyone. There is PQR Corporation has cash inflows of rupees 2 lakh from the sale of equipment. Then they say 5 lakh from the sale of shares in a subsidiary, and cash outflows of 1 lakh 50 for the purchase of new machinery. Additionally, the company made a loan of 2 lakh 50 to a third party. Everybody, what's going to be the answer? What is the net cash flow from investing activities for PQR Corp? Everyone, what's going to be the answer in this case? When we talk about this, PQR has inflows of 2 lakh. Investing activities exclusively talks about your assets only. So look at the assets itself. In this case, you are getting 2 lakh from the sale of equipment. That's an inflow. This is basically an inflow plus 2 lakh. Then 5 lakh from the sale of shares. 5 lakh on the sale of shares in a subsidiary. That means this was an investment in some other organization which you have given up to. So that means you are losing 1 lakh. You are losing 5 lakh. No, 5 lakh from the sale of shares. Now you have received money. You have received money of rupees 5 lakh. Everybody, we have received 2 lakh rupees and we received 5 lakh rupees. Now this is also for something that is your part of a business. Then we have 1 lakh, 5 lakh rupees. Then cash outflows. You purchase a new machinery, everyone. If you purchase a new machinery, you are losing funds. You are losing funds for what reason? Because you are the only person from the business who has earned money. Then comes the last one. Additionally, the company made a loan. If the company has money to give, loans will also be covered here. Everybody, what's going to be the answer in this case? If I talk about this area, you have received 2 lakh, you have received 5 lakh, you made a cash outflow of 1 lakh 50,000, and then you also made a cash outflow because the company made a loan, you helped some other organization, which is basically of 2 lakh $50,000. Done, everyone? Done, everyone? So in this case, look at this. The answer is going to be 2 lakh 50. We have got 5 plus 2, 7 as a positive lakh, and 7 lakh minus 2 lakh 50 and 1 lakh 50 for the negative term. Right? Done, everyone? Getting the idea? Done, everyone? Let's move on to the next question. The cash advances and loan advances provided by a financial institution are classified as investing activities. Acha, cash and the loan. If you give money to someone and that becomes your piece of owning the funds, it is good or bad? What's gonna be the answer in this case, everyone? Sometimes what happens is in a business you face cash crunches, so you should be opened up towards how you are managing your funds. So when we talk about the cash advances here, the assertion and reasoning is there. Look at the specific question and give me the answer. the cash advances and loans provided by financial institutions are classified as investing activities. And then we have the specific area of reason. Loans provided by the function institution represent the investments made to generate returns for that institution. Everybody, what's going to be the answer? Reasoning and assertion. Please go ahead and answer. And if these questions are helpful for you, then please share the session, like the session, and subscribe to the channel right away. Cash advances and loans. Cash advances and loans that we are getting from someone is a part of your financing activities. In this case, that would be the point. So in this case, first part is definitely wrong because this can be both ways. It can be a liability, it can be an asset. Then loans provided by financial institutions represent the investments made to generate funds for the institution. That is also true. Whenever you give the money to a financial institution, you will not do it for free. There must be a reason for which you are doing this. So when you are doing this for some other reason, then we have to be covered in this specific area. So one thing is definitely true, that first is true. First is false, sorry. This one is false and this one is true. Loans provided by a financial institution represents investments made to generate funds for the institution. Right? When the organization is providing loans to someone, that means you are helping other organizations to grow and you are keeping the investments of those organizations with you. So technically the answer is D. Done, everyone? Got the idea? Please keep on answering as well, everyone. Your every effort is definitely counted. Chaliye, next question. Which of the following best describes the cash flow from financing activities? Financing activities refers to those activities which are related to lending or borrowing of funds for the organization. So according to you, what's going to be the answer? Good, everyone. Cash flow related to the acquisition and disposal of long-term assets. Cash flow related to the transaction with shareholders and debt holders of the entity. Then is cash flow related to the production and sales of goods and services, or cash flow to non-cash transactions. Non-cash transactions are never a part of it. So this is one thing is true. The last one is gone. Second last is also gone, which is talking about production and sale of goods. So I would say both of these are wrong. Cash flow related to transactions with shareholders and debt holders. I think this can be the point because long-term assets are always a part of investing activities. So in this case, what's going to be the answer, everyone? When we're trying to find the answer to this question, what's going to be the answer? It is going to be A. No, A is long-term investment. So we are looking at financing, and it is B. Done? The financing activities involve raising capital, repaying debt, as well as providing returns to shareholders. Financing is the source from where you are raising funds. So you are trying to help those people, or you are going to give returns to those people who have given you funds. So it can be the fundraising part or making some rewards to them. Both of these are a part of it. Everyone, here comes another question on classification for financing activities. What's going to be the answer in this case, everyone? It says cash receipt from customers, cash payments to suppliers, cash proceeds from issuing the bonds, or cash payments for income tax. What's going to be the answer, everyone? When we talk about this specific area, the cash receipts from customers is basically your day-to-day activity. It's an operating activity. Cash payment to supplier is also a day-to-day activity because you purchase goods from them. So A and B are something which are not gonna be the points. Then Cash proceeds from issuing the bonds. If you issue the bonds and raise funds, this is where you are getting money for your business. Because even income tax is not a part of it now. Income tax, if I look at the specific area, income tax is something which is your day-to-day activity base. Because you run your business, you earn money, and because you earn money, you have to pay taxes. It's that simple, everyone. Everybody, in this case, what's going to be the answer then? The answer is the issue of bonds. When we talk about bonds, that's the only thing which is a part of financing activity, as it means a raising of capital for the business. Everyone, here comes a question regarding IND AS7. IND AS7 and AS3, both of these are defining the specific concept of cash flow statement. But in terms of cash flow statement, you have got two methods: direct method and indirect method. Direct method is something which is just stated, sorry, but not in use. The reason is direct method is not prescribed, while the SEBI has said to use the indirect method in the working of an enterprise when they have to report to SEBI. So that is why it has been defined in our AS3 and also in the AS7. What's going to be the answer, everyone? Which of the following is true about the cash flow in foreign currency? If we have cash flows in foreign currency, what will we do? Cash flow must be reported in the foreign currency of the transaction. Then cash flow from a foreign currency are translated to in the exchange rate at the date of the cash flow. Then cash flow of in a foreign currency are recorded in the closing exchange period, or we can say cash flows in foreign currency are excluded from the cash flow statement. Everybody, what's gonna be the answer? When we talk about the Ind AS 7, it says that if there's a cash foreign currency, then it should be converted into the value in Indian currency, because we are looking at the cash flow where the organization is required to prepare their books of accounts accordingly. And that too, you should make sure that if you have more of language barriers, if you have major problems in terms of reporting the currencies, then there's a problem, because if you have rupees, then you should go for the different treatments. If we talk about the dollars, yen, wherever you live, you tend to use equity, use then use the portion of equity. Everybody, what's gonna be the answer in this case? When we talk about Ind AS 7, don't worry, AS3 and Ind AS 7 is cash flow statement only. The answer is just converted into your normal currency. When everything is going in rupee, we understand rupee way better than anything else, don't you think? So in this case, the answer is B. Chali, moving on to the next question. Among the following, which are correct regarding cash flow from investing activities, everyone? Just pay attention and read all these points. Take 5 minutes and let's continue with this. Everyone, what's going to be the answer in this case? We're talking about among the following, which one is correct regarding investing? They're talking about investing activities altogether. Cash payments for the acquisition of property, plant, and equipment is operating. If I am paying in terms of cash for all these things, I think it's very heavy amount to be paid for operating. This is actually investing activities. For this one is wrong. Cash inflows from selling shares in other entities are considered investing activities until or unless you're talking about your own your own shares, then everything else is basically your investment. So I think I'll go with this, that this one is an investment. Then comes the repayment of loan made to other entities is classified as an operating activity. When you are making the payment of a loan, that is your financing activity. You arrange the funds from somewhere and you're making the payment. The cash receipts from the sale of long-term assets are classified as investing activities. So this is also true. If you receive money from your long-term assets, that is your investing activity. So this, in this case, I can say 1 and 3 is definitely wrong. 1, 2 and 4, this is only 1 point, that is 2 and 4. So when you're looking forward to these questions, now be very precise and at the same time be opened up to all these points. If you are opened up to these questions, then only you get to know how to deal with this. Otherwise, there is such a major problem in dealing with the questions because you might be just guessing. The guesswork is not something which is long sighted, I would say. It's a very short sighted way of working. Don't you think? Anyhow, everyone, let's move on and talk about the next point. Everyone, here comes the next question. Cash flow statements are mandatory and an integral part of financial statements. Cash flow statements helps in understanding the changes in working capital over a period of time. Working capital is the money that we need on a daily basis for the business. That is what we define in this area, everyone. So, first part is definitely true. It plays a very important role. But at the same time, when we talk about the second part, I think I'll go with it is a part of, it helps in understanding the changes in working capital. We are looking at it over a period of time, but it is not limited to the area of working capital. When we talk about working capital, this is only in operating activities, but working capital changes is something that is prepared for fund flow statement. We'll talk about fund flow just now. So this is fund flow statement based. Cash flow doesn't really work upon working capital in detail. So I think A is correct, but R is not correct. Because the reason is they help in understanding the liquidity position. Cash tells you how much money do you possess right now. It doesn't look at any other way, right? Everyone, next question. This question is regarding which of the following is true regarding cash flow. Cash flow uses accrual system of accounting. If it would have used accrual, then there wouldn't have been any talk of cash. Cash flow statement determines changes in working capital. Cash flow show the liquidity position of the business. Cash flow statements are not mandatory. Cash flow is something which is required in certain organizations. It is mandatory. They don't really have a choice, those specific organizations. Though it is not required by every organization, but certain organizations have to keep it. So in this case, the correct answer is it shows exclusively the liquidity position of an organization, right? So when we talk about JAIIB AFM, this is basically an examination which the bankers give for their career advancements, right? So this helps it up. When we talk about accounting and financial management, this is one of the 4 subjects which are there in JAIIB examination. After you are done with JAIIB, then there is another examination called CAIIB. This is what bankers look forward to when they are looking at their banking career. So IIT JEE preparations are slightly different from this. Rather, it's a totally different career. Okay, everyone, let's look forward towards fund flow statement. What do you mean by fund flow statement? Fund flow is slightly kya? It has a greater perspective or wider perspective than cash flow. But the problem is that the funds are not something that other people are worried about. They are worried about the overall cash. how much cash to be possessed, because that is your measuring area. So in this case, that part is definitely true. Introduction to fund flow statement. First is your definition, your purpose, and then key components. Definition is fund flow statement is a financial report. This it prepares the changes in the company's financial position between two balance sheets. It helps to understand what changes of funds is happening. That talks about sources and application of funds. Purpose is what? It helps the stakeholders understand how the company generates and utilizes the resources. How are they working upon their resources? And then key components are they work upon how are you generating funds and how are you using those funds. In this case, they prepare two statements. First is statement of working capital changes. Second is sources and application of funds. So this is an important area where you understand sources from where you are arranging the funds, application where you are applying those funds. That is to be covered under the specific area of fund flow statement, everyone. Got the idea? Chaliye. Now look at this part in detail. When we talk about the specific area of fund flow, how do we prepare it? Number one, you understand your sources of and application of funds. You also look at your working capital changes. First thing that you do is preparing your working capital statement. Next is you determine the funds from operations. What do you mean by this? You understand the funds that you are generating for your business. And lastly, what you do is you compile the entire statement, right? Chaliye. Now let's move on to the next point. Look at this, everyone. This is called sources and application of funds. From where you are arranging the funds, the place where you are getting the funds. You know, this is sources and application of funds. The way you are issuing your debentures is covered there. Debenture is basically the source of funds that you are arranging your money from. Share is basically your money, and the money that you borrow from others to start your business is debentures. There are long-term loans. The loans that you take in your business for the sake of it that you have to run your business over a long period of time. Sale of fixed asset, when you sell your fixed assets are to be covered in this area. Funds from operations, that means when we're talking about fund from operations, this is exclusively something which helps you to understand how you are making money in your own business. Done, everyone? Chaliye. Now this is the entire portion where we talk about these areas, and here comes the application in the funds. Where do you apply the funds? Sources is from where you arrange the funds. Where do you put your funds into, everyone? You can put your funds into multiple areas. What are those areas, everyone? Number one is you purchase assets. Number two is you pay off your loans that you have taken. Obviously, the loans that you have taken has an end, and that end has to be determined. Dividend and tax payments, that's another important area. है ना? Dividend is basically the reward for the shareholders who have invested funds. Then increase in working capital. The amount that you are including in your day-to-day operations is your working capital. Right? This is what they're telling about. What's the difference between fund flow and cash flow? An important area. Cash is focusing more towards cash and cash equivalence. What do you mean by cash and cash equivalence? How you are running your business is to be covered there. Working capital means how do you manage your business altogether. ठीक है ना? So working capital is day-to-day business. Then comes the specific area of where's the focus. Time frame, it is basically both of these are covering the specific area of 1 year normally. After completion of 1 year, they calculate the specific area altogether. Then we have the specific area of components. What are the components in terms of cash flow you find operating, investing, and financing activities? In terms of fund flow, you have sources and application of funds. Then you have purpose. Cash flow is just to find out how much money you possess at one point of time. Liquidity is the main thing. Fund flow has a broader perspective. It talks about long term and short term fund management. Scope, it has a narrow scope, but the point it is very clear. It is completely focusing on cash. While when we talk about the fund flow, it looks at the broader perspective how the businesses work. So in this case, yes, there's a difference. Done now? Chaliye ji. Now, everyone, here comes the first question. Which of the following best describes the difference between cash flow and fund flow? When we are trying to understand the difference between cash flow and fund flow, uh, cash flow statement focuses on changes in cash, while fund flow talks about the non-cash working capital, है ना? So obviously the growth of one particular thing is different from others, na? So this is one particular truth. Cash flow has a narrow concept, but it is very clear. It blindly talks about only and only movement of cash. Then comes cash flow statement uses accrual method, fund flow uses cash method. No, it's actually the opposite. Na? Then comes the specific area. Cash flow determines the changes in long-term position and fund flow is short-term. Is it? Cash flow statement and are not mandatory while fund flow are. Do we really make it that way, everyone? I don't think we really find any of these as mandatory. Cash flow is not required for sole proprietorships. Fund flow is not required by anyone. Cash flow talks about liquidity, it doesn't talk about long term. Cash flow uses accrual method, it's opposite. It talks about cash. Cash flow statement is basically related to cash, so the correct answer is A. Done. So here comes a question regarding fund flow, everyone. Chaliye, let's look at the next question. Cash flow arising from future contracts and forwards are to be classified under investing activities. Does it? Everyone? Then comes the area, these contracts are usually long-term investment strategies, hence are included in the investing activities. See, when we talk about the first part, cash flow arising from future contracts, indeed, when we talk about future contracts, they are something which are futuristic in nature, and that's an investment. So first part is definitely true. But is the second part true or not? These contracts are typically used for long-term investment strategies and hence are a part of investing activities. See, ऐसा नहीं होता. These contracts can also be a part of your business. If it would be a part of your business, then you cannot talk about the investing activities that way. It would be completely your operating activity at that point of time if it is not a part of your long term. It is not long-term investment strategies. It might be your day-to-day business. For the financing organizations, it is their day-to-day business. So in this case, first is definitely true, but the first is false and second is true. No, when we talk about the cash flow arising from future contracts, huh? नहीं अच्छा ठीक है. The first one is also a problem there. It talks about always classified as under investing. The point which I was telling is definitely wrong in the first part itself. It is not always investing. When you are dealing with it, it turns into your trading work. If it turns into trading work, then the point is definitely wrong. And then these contracts, so in actual future and forwards, both are long-term investment strategies, because in this case the reason would be, if you will go to the topic of derivatives now, it talks about it. You put your money today, है ना, but you don't want to see the fluctuations for after 3 days or 5 days or maybe 3 months. So that's why you decide your money today itself. That is your long-term investment strategy. But it is not always investing activities. So they have gone for the assertion is false and the reasoning is true. I think the reason is slightly true. It is not applicable everywhere. But yeah, the first point is definitely wrong. So I think then we can say both are in this case there's no other point which would be very near to it, so it would be D only, which is basically after using elimination method you'll find. Chali everyone, this is it for the day. I hope this particular session was helpful for you. If it was, then please share the session, like the session, and subscribe to the channel right away. We have done all the different variety of questions, starting from basic question, reasoning assertion based questions, then which one is true, which one is false, and multiple choice based questions as well. So I think we have done case study today as well. So all the variety of the cash flow and fund flow statement along with the numerical part as well. I think we have done all the different variety of cash flow and fund flow. I hope this particular session was helpful. If it was, then please go ahead and look forward towards our courses right away. Our crash course has just started. I am currently taking AFM, Accounting and Financial Management for Bankers. Module A is going on. So you can definitely check out our cash flow statement there. So you can check out the entire topics altogether, everyone. So this is where just go on to the area of JAIIB October, and here it is, everyone, the crash course batch. Okay, this is our crash course batch. Just click on this specific area of crash course, use the code Y541 and apply it. You will get it for 3199.20. 1% extra discount is available if you download the app first. So please go ahead and download the app and get this particular course right away. Thank you so much for being there, everyone. Bye bye and have a nice day. We'll be meeting in the next session in the next weekend, everyone. Please share the session. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel right away. Bye bye. And every single day I'm also meeting you at 8:30 p.m. So please be there on our YouTube channel every single day at 8:30. Either I'll be there or Aarti ma'am would be there. So please go ahead and be there on a daily basis so that you can learn these topics